All right, man. Look, welcome back to TopherTvPodcast. Look, I know we back to the OG scenery. You know what I'm saying? The mics and stuff not here right now because I'm currently experiencing like some minor technical difficulties. I gotta get them figured out. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm back again. Like I said, we got the OG scenery. But listen, make sure y'all tune in to the audio only version. I keep on speaking about it because, I got to. Apple Music Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. Yo, you can get it free of charge. All you gotta do is press play, and I promise you, you can get a different version of, from the visual and, seeing me. You can just put it in your ears to listen. But make sure y'all like the video, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, and the new people that's here, welcome to TopherTvPodcast. So I like to start like all of my podcasts with the Let's Talk About It segments, and I've been seeing like some controversial stuff as far as like women and men, about like what goes on like in a relationship as far as like, I don't want to say leniency because, it shouldn't be like, I guess emotion based or even lenient period. But basically what I'm speaking on is like what goes on in a relationship and what's allowed and, things of that nature. But at the end of the day, it's a respect thing. Like I truly agree. Like even my woman came at me and she told me that, sometimes the way that I express myself about certain things that she do isn't like, I guess accepting in her eyes. Because, for example, the bro this, the bro that, like coming towards me, I told her, I'm like, look, I'm not your brother. You know what I'm saying? But in my opinion, it was kind of like a little joke. But she took it and she was like, that's how I talk, you know what I'm saying? Like when I'm with my girls, I say bro, and bro is a general term like man or he, you know what I'm saying, like that. But allow the person that you originally started dating and talking to be that person that they was. Let me rephrase that. Allow the person that your significant other was or whoever you dated to be that person to their full extent, because you never should go into anything trying to change anybody. First of all, I know that for a fact, and it's hard to change people, and I don't think it can be done personally. But make sure whoever that they are, like when you met them, you supposed to, I guess, help them become even better. You're not supposed to change them. You're supposed to add to, water them like a flower. You know what I'm saying? So I dropped that off real quick. But I got a question. So who is the greatest artist of our generation? And I know, multiple generations watch my videos and my podcast, right? Oh, my son, man. My son tweaking. You good. But yes, I know multiple generations watch the pod, and I appreciate all of y'all. But who is the greatest of our generation? Because briefly, I had an argument about who was it, Drake and Chris Brown, right? Okay, so if you don't know, Chris Brown had some trouble, throughout his career, but he is great. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking that away from him. But my greatest artist of my generation is Drake. And I recently asked like my peers and everybody that I be around constantly, who would win in a versus battle? And this doesn't necessarily, make either one of them the greatest of our generation, but versus is a good way to depict, I guess, like who has more hits. And they do make like different genres of music, but at the same time, from longevity wise, it's remarkable. Chris Brown been lit since he was 15, and Drake came in, I don't know how old Drake was, but he been in the game long enough to have a 10-year run in music and consistently like not fall off, right? And my whole thing is, as great as Chris Brown is, I think the trouble hindered him from being his full potential. Even though he's multi-talented, he can dance, he can sing, he can rap, he's even been in movies so he can act, you know. But that little piece of his career messed him up. And then for Drake to be on top for like 10, 11 years is just absolutely crazy. Because even though Chris Brown was still putting out hits, like we all know that Drake is so great that he will hop on songs and be the feature and he'll make that song his. You know what I'm saying? And tell me who will win the versus battle in your opinion, because I don't know. And I know Drake talked about going 5 hours in the stadium before one of his albums. So for me, like, I don't know, bro. But yeah, let me know who the greatest of our generation is, whatever generation it may be. I know I briefly talked about music on the pod before, but it was just like one of the conversations that I had to tap into because, you know, it's a debate and, you know, everybody's opinion can come from different angles to ultimately create you to think a different way. You know what I mean? But for me, like Drake is that dude for me. And it's a lot of trash music being put out there. And I know a lot of people have different opinions about who's the greatest of our generation. I understand. But look, the proof is in the pudding. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, as far as the get it off your chest segment today, I just wanna I guess speak on the stuff that's been happening in the world, because it don't get a lot of light, but y'all pay attention to, you know, like the world and what's going on in the world, because I think ultimately it's good to stay in tune with what's going on around you. You know what I mean? Because a lot of it gets slipped up under the rug for whatever reason. I'm not gonna get into all of that, but yeah, y'all tune in and make sure that y'all paying attention to everything. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to get caught up in like what's going on in social media and things of that nature, but yeah, just stay tuned. But like I say, let me know who's the greatest of y'all generation, man. I appreciate each and every one of y'all pulling up, tuning in to the pod. I really, really appreciate it. Like I said, if you're new, this is TopherTvPodcast. I'm having some technical difficulties with like some of my equipment, so I had to go to the OG setup. But you know, ain't nothing wrong with this either. You know what I'm saying? I might not be as loud, but you know, that's cool too. And always make sure y'all tune in to Apple Music Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music for the audio-only version of my podcast, man. I appreciate y'all, and I hope y'all enjoy this episode of Topher TV Podcast. Peace.